And B2. And good evening, Strika, Idiot Fish, Jesse Argenziano, Baron Von Blair, and everyone else who might be lurking in chat. Hope you guys are having a fantastic evening this evening. Guys, I really wasn't kidding about Scott's music taste. His playlist is all over the map. Keeps it from being boring. And Joshua, how are you doing this evening? An idiot fish. Yeah, so did I. And yeah, I was at work when Scott was playing on Survival Circle. But if everything goes according to plan, we'll be spinning up again tomorrow night on Survival Circle. We're probably going to start that around 6 o'clock tomorrow night. So stay tuned. Think we might be a little bit entertaining on that one, and yeah, I think we can come up with with about an hour of cover songs that are just awesome. And good evening, Toot. No, Microman, you actually didn't. We can't play the tune during the pre-show because then we'll get flagged for copyright. Oh, you guys want to put bets on Scott's shirt color tonight? Go for it. Let's see if you guys can get it right. And Microman, if everything goes to plan, we'll be on Survival Circle at 6 p.m. tomorrow night, spinning up tunes. All right, so we've got one vote in for blue tonight. One vote in for light purple. That's two for blue, and MJ is going a little more specific and saying baby blue. All right, and Microman is also chiming in with purple. Yort is chiming in with red. You know, and guys, if you can nail the color on the head, you'll get 25 Jackal. Ooh.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens. Welcome back to the podcast, the live stream edition, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome to the Podocasts, and thank you. And I saw that you guys were having some fun in the chat, so whomever guessed maroon, you win 25 Jackal. Another round of applause for you. Well done, sir. Well done for being tuned into my wardrobe. The Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door and talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. Doesn't matter if you say that or not, but I am saying it anyway. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I am your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes, and joining me as always is the greatest producer of all time, Belle. How are we doing tonight, Belle?
I'm kind of giggling because Idiot Fish got the closest with dark red.
Well, we'll let it be a producer's call. If you want to give him my money for that, then we are more than happy to do it. Here at the podcast, we have a tendency to talk about what others are not talking about, bringing the focus onto use case cryptos because, as we know, these are what drive the market and bring innovation to a world that desperately needs it. The status quo is no longer acceptable. It's time for a technological revolution. Welcome to crypto. Welcome to Podocasts, the Podcasts, and thank you. I'm fired up tonight. I'm kind of jazzed up, guys, because we're going through some we're going through some transition, and anytime we go through start going through a transition, I start seeing hope. And I start seeing the future and all that other stuff that goes into the life of a yield farmer. So anytime I'm moving around a whole bunch of money, it always kind of gets me jazzed up. What are we doing, Belle? Am I giving the man the money?
Yeah, you're going to give Idiot Fish the money because he specifically said dark red. And that shirt, in spite of the way the light hits it, is actually dark red.
Well, that's just my LUT filter. It's actually maroon. It's much darker maroon, but I have a LUT filter on because it keeps up the glow on my cheeks. And I think that's important because the glow on the cheeks are inspired by bourbon. We do this show, so it gives me a chance, an opportunity, and a reason to drink. And with crypto going the way it's going right now, I think everybody could use any reason to knock a few back. And if you're not of that temperament, I assure you I will be knocking them back on your behalf. You're welcome from the podcast, and thank you. So the news is still talking up Sam Bankman-Fried, whatever the hell his name is, and they just can't get enough of this stuff. They really can't get enough of it, and it's got me thinking a lot. It really has, because it's given such a black eye to crypto, and I'm not just going to throw that out. I'm going to give you some context around it. So at rough guerrilla estimates, considering the way that they kept their books, FTX was responsible for approximately $30 billion, give or take a few billion. Again, what's that between friends? And what they actually had out there was probably so leveraged so many times over that it would have actually been a bigger hit. But for the purposes of this monologue, we're going to call it $30 billion. Now, the collapse of FTX was not necessarily the big doom and gloom. And this is what I mean by context. So if you come over here to ye old CoinGecko and you look at the actual market cap of all of crypto, currently it's about $828 billion. That's a big number. All right, that's a big number in anybody's world. At one time, I think we tipped 3 trillion briefly, but $828 billion, it goes to the cents. I don't really care about it, but let's just call it a nice even $800 billion, because I can be cavalier enough to throw away $28 billion, the same way that FTX did. Now, it's not the money that shellacked crypto the way it shellacked crypto, because honestly, The entirety of FTX is just it's a small percentage. I mean, it's what 1%, 1.1%, something like that. And crypto moving up and down 1%, we call that a good day. If it goes down 1%, we call that a good day. So it wasn't the money per se. It was the fact that the scams got caught, that the way that these power people were able to manipulate the cryptocurrency market. That's what rung the bell. It wasn't the money. It was the fact that the show is over and people are looking at it now. They're not going to stop. They're going to find another way to do it. Right now, it was quick, it was easy, it was fast, it was exciting, names on stadiums, Tom Brady pitching your product, and it was very, very easy at that time to appeal to the masses. Now it's a little bit tougher because now it's starting to get into very esoteric when you start looking out towards the DeFi. So it wasn't the money, it was the fact that the market is not going to be so easily manipulated, or at least not so obviously manipulated. It'll still be tuned up. It is what it is. And when you're talking about this much money, and I'm going to round up again, let's just call it an even trillion dollars. Trillion dollars. When you start talking about that kind of money, people that have the ability to look at that and not really bat too much of an eye are going to find a way to game it. They just are. They've been doing this throughout the history of the financial world. There's always going to be somebody up there who can game it. So the slowdown of money, the slowdown of crypto, is simply due to the fact that the big power players haven't quite figured out how to manipulate it yet. They will. They haven't gotten there yet, but they will. Give them time. And that is when you're going to start seeing some more of these extreme wild fluctuations. Now, for me, I don't like to lose money. I don't like to see my investments go down. But I think they're starting to get right priced. They really are. We're not seeing these crazy fluctuations that are beating the ever-loving shit out of us the entire last 18 months. We're not seeing those kind of fluctuations. We're almost seeing stability. It's bizarre. We are almost seeing stability. Now, that speaks well for the yield farmers, but it's got to be specific now. Cosmos was legendary for massively overinflated tokens. Just huge, huge bulks of stupidly inflated tokens that the only way they could possibly have sustained those was through more money pouring into the ecosystem. And as soon as the money stopped pouring into the ecosystem, these things are gone. They are dust now. Everybody owns a little bit. Some of the meme tokens, everybody owns some, and they're devaluing as we speak. As this show goes on, those things will be worth less by the time that this show is over because they don't do anything. And that is more or less what I'm starting to consider the end of the DeFi 1.0 experiment. It was great. It was fun. There was so much money pouring into it. Everybody could invent something. Everybody could stand up in L1 and they could be profitable and they can rug it and people can just get out and look for the new best L1 and just repeat the cycle ad infinitum. But somebody stopped the music and there weren't enough chairs for everybody. So it's a little bit more difficult now because now you got to be clever. Now you have to be focused. Now you have to find the right thing at the right time. Now we have to do what legacy markets have had to do forever. Find the right thing, find it at the right time. Dig for information, talk to people, get into Discords, hook up with the developers, talk to the financial people. It's not even the developers I really want to talk to. I want to talk to the finance guys because as much I am not a developer, and I could talk to them all day and not know what the hell they're saying. I'm not ignorant. It's not my world. But let me get the guy who wrote the tokenomics on. Let me talk to him. Let me talk to the finance people. Let me talk to the people who are managing the purse strings because I get a lot more information out of them. It's not just the product. It's the plan for the product. Did you build it? Great. Now what? And this more or less goes out to all of the heavily diluted L1s that are existing out on the cosmos. Yes, you made a system of governance. You're the man. You are aces. Now what are you going to do with it? And that seems to be where all of these things are starting to come together. Now, as far as transitioning, yes, I am. And as far as looking for surgical strikes, that's effectively what I'm doing right now. And we're going to spend some time on some dexes today because I do have to start moving some money around. Osmosis kind of chopped my nuts off, and Daddy's got to get back into it because the APRs I'm being paid do not keep up with the rate of inflation at all. At all, even in a flat market, it is clear and visible to anybody who's looking. So I'm going to have to seek greener pastures. I am a locust. I've never apologized for it. This is what I do. And when the field goes sour, when the ground goes sour and I've chewed everything that I could, it's time to look for new grounds. But we can't do it as freely as we could do it 12 months ago, 18 months ago, when basically everything was kind of a good deal. Now we have to get strategic. Now we have to get extremely surgical. So all of the things that I've been talking about on DEXs that are important to me, as an investor, not so much the DEX, but me as an investor, I have to stick to my guns on these. And these are some very, very specific things. I have built over in my head what I consider the minimum requirements for a successful DEX in Cosmos. Now, osmosis is always going to be the outlier. They said they're doing it, but they haven't done it yet. But there are some very, very specific wickets that I'm looking for. It's important. It is absolutely necessary because this is a scary time. It's a very, very scary time in crypto, and I do not intend to have my money locked. I'm not putting it in there, fire, forget, 14 days, don't worry about it, everything's cool. I'm not doing it. Not now. I can't do it with the inflation the way that it is beating the hell out of my wallet. So we have to be smarter. We have to be surgical. We have to be strategic. Now, I am not advising anybody. I don't give financial advice, man. Look, we do YouTube, again, so that I can drink. Because as long as I have a reason to drink, Bell, I'm not a raging alcoholic. As long as I have a reason, I'm okay with it. It's when I don't have a reason and I'm doing absolutely nothing and I'm hitting the bottle. That's when I think we might have to start finding a life coach or something. But if I'm on the show for some reason, it reddens my cheeks. So it's important. And that's that's the reason for it. So before we start taking all of this apart, Belle, do we got any questions or comments?
We've got several comments. So,
Okay.
Microman starting it off with awesome tie.
Awesome tie. Yeah, I didn't buy the tie. Somebody bought it for me. I'm not saying who. I'm just saying somebody else picked it out for me. Carry on, Belle.
Makokata Streamwalker. Guys know about 6 color. Maroon is not one of them.
Okay. All right. Carry on, Belle.
Black Tornado with Looking Sharp and Makokata Streamwalker. Awesome tie, Scott. Good pick, Bella.
There you go. See, everybody already knows. They know you pick my ties. I don't pick my ties. You know what a good tie is? A black tie. That's all a man needs. A man needs one tie. It needs to be a black tie. All right? It's good for weddings. It's good for funerals. And honestly, if you're not in the corporate world, that should be the only time that you are wearing one is weddings and funerals. And in that case, a black tie is acceptable at either of them. I have like 30 of them now. Suddenly, as soon as I mentioned to friends and family and all that, yeah, I wear ties on the show now. I get ties. That's what I got. I got it for Christmas. I just got hit with ties. I need one of those things. I don't even know what you call them. That a tie rack to hang up all the damn ties. I just got them strung over a hanger. I know that's not the way to do it, but that's what I got. All right, Belle, what else we got? Carry on, please.
All right, so Type Shizloot hit us with a $50 super chat.
Oh, and everybody, prayers and happy thoughts going out to Type Shizloot because they got the COVID. Carry on, Belle.
Oh, all right. And Toot chiming in with, y'all are nerds. I love it.
Are we? Why are we? Oh, because I don't get the nerds. Is it because we're dressed up? Is that it?
No, I think it's because of your tie tack, actually.
Oh, yeah. No, I make no apologies about this stuff, man. Look, I saw Star Wars. If you ever saw the movie Star Wars, I saw it in the theater. I saw it early, like 2 or 3 weeks after it released. I was very young, but I did see it in the theater. So, I've seen all of these like original. I saw Star Trek the motion picture at the drive-in in Phoenix, Arizona. So who has been to an actual drive-in? This is when this was a thing with the little speakers you hanging in your window. That's what we had. So I saw all of these movies way back when. I've always been a geek. I used to play Dungeons and Dragons regularly. If I had a group, I still and the time I still would. Uh, but I identify more as a Trekkie than I do with Star Wars. I understand there's more lore, there's a lot more going on in Star Wars, but I more closely identify. If I had a choice to join the rebellion or go to Starfleet Academy, I'm going to Starfleet Academy. You betcha. I think that would be great because that's half of them are girls. I want to go where the girls are, and more of them are there. And, I'm sorry, man, but look, with most Star Wars movies, you know what you're going to get. All right, people are going to fight, they're going to blow up, and you got your hero, your antagonist, and it's all kind of pretty well out there. You don't know what you're going to get with Star Trek. It could be anything. Idris Elba was in the last one. I mean, come on, when do you see him in Star Trek? You got something to add to this, Bell?
Well, I mean, come on. Star Trek it's pure sci-fi, and Star Wars, cowboys and Indians. There is a big difference.
Well, yeah, and I'm also sad that if in the Star Wars world, I'd be an Empire guy. I would look at the tie. Come on, do I not look like the guy you want working on your Death Star? I fix the radios. That's what I do. There's food. There's medical. They got medical and dental. They take care of that. I would be that guy. Nope, sir. These are the droids you're looking for. They're right there. Yeah. How can you miss this? I would be that guy. I'd sell them out hard. I just, you know what? We do need order in the galaxy, and I think they're the ones to bring it. So, that being the case, yeah, I know myself. So, all right, Val, anything else? Because I will talk this for a damn hour. I will not talk about crypto at all.
Microman wants to know, Scott, are you watching Prodigy? Isn't it awesome?
No, I'm not watching Prodigy. I don't know what that is. Bell, write that down if that's something. What? You got the O face. Am I the only one not watching it?
Well, no, but yeah, that definitely sounds like an interesting series to me. So,
Well, write it
yeah.
down. I'll look into it. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale. That's what I'm watching right now. I don't know why. I watched the first episode. It was a little bit intriguing. I love totalitarian regimes. I love those kind of societies. I think I'd be an excellent ruler of one. So I just kind of got hooked on that. All right, Belle, carry on.
All right, Black Tornado, as always, really appreciate the thoughtfulness of your commentary.
Oh yeah, we're happy to bring it to you. So with that, guys, let's table up the rest, Bell, and we'll start getting into some of this stuff. So let me get my screens right, guys. I'm not allowed to show money anymore, so just let me get my screens right. And we're going to be doing a lot of this on the YouTube wallet, not the big one. So just pretend you don't see the value. Pretend you don't see the values. So where I've been getting beaten up pretty much lately is ever since they really started chomping the nuts out of it. My big hit was right there. That was the one that was my rock, my hard place. That was shoring me up. That was the one that was fighting the token devaluation and everything. But at 32%, it just doesn't get it done. Wrap Bitcoin and Osmo, 29%, it doesn't get it done. Wrapped Ethereum Osmo at 29.42, it just doesn't get it done. Now, these pools were clearly, heavily incentivized when they first launched on this, and now the incentivizations have clearly dropped off to nothing. I imagine Osmosis thought there was going to be a lot more action and price action on these tokens, on these pools than there actually was, and clearly they're bleeding. And with the token price sitting at 72 cents right now, they bled. They bled pretty hard. It feels like they're kind of circling the wagons, trying to figure out what the next thing is. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your glasses half empty, glasses half full kind of thing, they moved a little bit too slow. Osmosis moved a little bit too slow. Now, I am a fanboy. I've never apologized for it. I'm never going to sell off my Osmo. I will be holding on to it, but the paired assets, I can do better, and I am going to do better. So as we talked about on the last live stream, I've been sniffing around and spending a lot more time around Kajira. I've been spending a lot more time around Crescent. I've been spending a lot more time around Thor. And I'm just trying to figure out my landing point. So I thought tonight might be a fun night to go over some of those. Now, where I say that they moved too slow, Osmo moved a little bit slow. They, in fact, did move a little bit too slow because they are it seems like they're hell bent on simply being an AMM and they don't want anything else. They really, I know they've been talking about an order book, which I think is critical, but with the capital that they have, there's no reason that they couldn't have stood one up if they were serious about it. If they were serious about it, there was nothing holding them back from doing it, and it just does not seem to be materializing anytime soon. Now, when it does come, obviously I'm going to be singing a different tune, but again, I'm a pragmatist. I have to deal with the reality as I see it, not as I wish it would be. So, one of the minimum requirements that I'm starting to set forth on any decks that I'm going to invest into is going to be an order book. I want it to be in Cosmos because it's so easy for me to move my money and I have so much of it around here. But I want it to be in Cosmos and I want it to have an order book. That's two. That gives us two dexes that I can look into right now. One, of course, being Crescent, and the other one being Kujira, because both of these guys stood up order books. Now, the second thing, I'm going to change screens here, Bill. The second thing that I consider extremely important for me as an investor, it's not a matter of the success or failure of the decks. I'm not going to hemorrhage over my money so that you can continue to build. I am not investing, all right? I am harvesting. I will support your liquidity, and then that's it. And as soon as that goes sour, man, I am out. It is your job. It is your job, Crescent. It is your job, Kajira, to make sure that that doesn't happen. If you want to keep my liquidity in there, you have got to make sure that your token prices stay stable. And the way that you're going to do that is to get customers to your decks. It's not my job. That's your job. You built it. Now get people to use it. And that does nothing to do with me, not as a liquidity provider. So, where I said that Osmo went a little bit slow is because Crescent got it stood up. Kajira got it stood up. Kajira is moving frightfully fast. Frightfully fast. These guys are hitting it and they are going for it. Again, like I talked about on the last show, I'm going to mention it again here. I'm not sold on USK, man. It is not something that I'm extremely comfortable with. And the problem with it is that it needs volume to stabilize. It needs more and more and more of it to stabilize. It has to be minted. All of this has to occur for that price to stabilize. And when you come over here and you look at Mighty USK, this is not what you want to see out of a stable token. All right, it's not $1.05, it's $1. It should be. So you don't want to see this on any kind of stable token. You don't want to see a line like that. You absolutely do not. You want to see it flat. You want to see it stable. It's literally in the name. So the way that they can shore up the USK is to get a lot of volume. Now, a way that they're doing that is clearly incentivizing the hell out of all of these USK pools, because there are a lot of USK pools. For you to get into this, you're going to have to swap for USK. These are still AMM pools. So you're going to have to, or 50-50 parity pools. So they're going to have to mint or create, or you buy and mint and create USK to put into this pool. It's very clever, actually. It really is, because the most heavily incentivized pools over here are all paired with USK. They are literally incentivizing you to mint USK so that they can, so that you can take advantage of all these juicy APRs. You are taking a risk on this. I assure you, you are taking a risk on this, because the total market cap of USK is around $700,000, meaning that I could alone right now buy the entire market cap of USK. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. So they are providing the outreach in the form of very, very, very juicy, very, very juicy pools over here. Now, one that I'm looking at, and I'm pretty sure if you can see my mouse, you can see the one that I'm looking at right now, and that's Secret. That is interesting. That is an incredibly interesting pool for a few reasons, and let me go over these. One, that APR of That's like SIF chain level APRs. So I don't know which side of this is incentivizing this pool, but I got a hunch it's secret because I don't think that Kajira would unzip their fly that hard for an APR like that to give visibility and the ability to buy and trade secret. Secret has been around a while. They are not a babe in the woods. They're no part of secret. No part of secret that needs to be incentivized with 239% APR. But guys, you see it the same as me. All right. I'm just off the top of my head. So somebody's pushing the hell out of this, but wow, you know what? Let's speculate, Bell. Shall we speculate a little bit? I like to speculate. I never get to really do it on here, talk completely out of my ass. Uh, it seems like Secret is, if I had to guess, it's Secret that's incentivizing this pool. They have gave them a whole bunch of it and said, let's get it out there. Let's make it pop. Let's make Secret a thing again. And they're not doing it over here on Osmosis because over here on Osmo, it's about 40%. So you could pair up your Secret with Osmo for about 40%, or you could pair up your Secret with USK at 240%. So somebody is pairing the shit out of that pool. And it seems to me, if I was to, daytime talk show this, it seems that Secret Network and Osmo are coming to a parting of the ways. It seems like one of these, they are literally picking where they really want to build a new home. And it seems like it's over here on Kajira because I don't think Kajira has the capital to incentivize a pool like that, and I don't know why they would. What does Kajira get out of this aside from them minting more USK? So I see where they're going with this, and I got a hunch there were some smoky backroom deals in here, and they reached out to Secret Labs and said, hey, you know what? You guys are doing so many good things, but your token is absolutely dying. Why don't you let us help give it some visibility? And here's what we're doing. I understand that our code is closed source, but we'll let you have a look. Why not? Why, if I'm going to speculate, why not speculate wildly? Because I also got a hunch that before Secret would make an investment like that, they're going to want to take a look at the code. They are going to want to take a look at this. So, sorry guys, but I'm not the biggest fan of Secret. Not that I think it's an absolute necessity. I love Secret. I love what they do. It's slow. It's hard. It's hard on the validators. The network is clunky. It always has been. It struggles for the smallest of transactions. So but the underlying idea behind Secret of complete anonymity of tokens, a huge fan, huge fan. I have plenty of money wrapped Secret tokens. Something's going on here with this one. That's what I'm getting at on this, Bell. Something is going on. Some kind of nod and handshake took place over here because that's kind of a big number to be seen on Secret, and it kind of works out for Scott because Scott's Secret into Osmo is unpairing. I got to move that Secret somewhere. Why wouldn't I move it over there? Would I leave it on Osmo at 40% or would I move it over there? You know what? The swap fees on that pool are nil. Nobody's buying it. So it's not a matter of just me going for the swap fees. It's a matter of me, Daddy wants to get paid. And if I have to get paid in Kajira in Secret, because that's the payout on that particular pool, because it tells you right there, these are the incentives. It puts it out right there. So if I got to get paid, why not get paid more for what's effectively the same amount of risk? Again, just me talking out of my ass, top of my head, something that I haven't really discussed until I saw that pool and saw how booming high that is. Just gave me something to think about. Belle, you've been like biting your lip here. Are we getting some comments? Does some people have questions on this?
No, but yeah, a little birdie named the Secret Discord might have actually put out a post yesterday at around 11 that kind of confirms your suspicions. So
I didn't even read it. You know what? They put out so many posts. Everything's an announcement with them. Everything. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I go on. It's announcement for Secret. Shockwave is here, and yeah. So is that what the post said? Do you have it up? Can you read the announcement?
Basically, they were just announcing the pool from now until January 31st. They're paying out a higher amount of rewards.
So they are incentivizing that. Yeah. See, now that's kind of neat because that works out for everybody. It gives visibility and incentive for people to purchase Secret again because you gotta, Black Friday Secret right now, man. No, this thing is just a hurting token. So they need something to get up there and kick it in the ass. Kajira needs people pairing up with USK. So yeah, that seems like that kind of pops out of a slot for everybody. I didn't see their announcement. I don't. Again, they announced so much stuff, and I don't care. I just don't. I'm not really in the token anymore, but I might be their target audience because at 239%, I'm interested. I am interested. It's God, it's sketchy because I don't want to buy up that USK to get it, even though I understand that it's helping, it's making USK stronger, but at a dollar, no, this is. I don't want. I want nothing to do with this. I just don't. It seems like they're setting a trap. They're out there hunting yield farmers right now. We're gonna bag us some yield farmers and just bury them under USK when that shit goes to 81 cents. It just feels. It feels like a trap.
And per their post, you can provide liquidity for Secret and USK and receive rewards in both Secret and Kuji from now until January 31st. Now you know what to do, Scott.
Yeah, and it actually segues me nicer into one of the what I consider minimum requirements for a viable DEX in Cosmos, and that is an end to lock-in periods. Can't have them. Won't deal with them anymore. When I'm done with Osmo, I will not provide liquidity on a DEX that requires a lock-in period. Emery and I have had these conversations and long, heated, debated conversations about it. The lock-in periods are important for the stability of the DEX. But I am not really out for the DEX anymore. I am out for the Scott. So if it provides you stability, great. But if you really want by locking up my money, great. I just won't put it there. And you can find somebody else. It's not a problem, nothing personal. They don't know who I am, and I will no longer know who they are. So, I mean, we're all fine with that. But it seems to me that if you want to make your DEX more stable, you should build it for features into it that people that people are asking for. Don't trap your liquidity providers in. This makes no sense to me. It's like I show up and I give them my money and they stick me down and put the shackles on me, and now I'm rowing the damn decks. I didn't sign up for this. This was supposed to be a Disney cruise, and I'm down on the bottom of the boat now. Row, you bastard! I'm not gonna do that anymore. So from now until January 31st, I can earn a big fat incentive with Secret. I don't expect Secret to take any real big major dumps over the next month. I mean, it is literally running with the market. Secret bled. It is not as far as it getting back to its old all-time high, that $10. I'm not seeing that. It's at 60 damn cents. I mean, you want to talk about another one, just a pure misery. Wow. That's pure misery right there. That's the 180 day, and that's the year. My goodness. That is a tough sell. And I remember because there were some folks that I worked with a little bit, and I was begging them, sell the Secret, dump it, get out. And they were like getting night sweats. Well, I've been in it so long, and it can come back. And and I just told them flat out, I don't see the path for that. I do not see what gets them from $1 to $10. I don't see a 10x out of Secret. They are good tech, but they are way ahead of their time. And after the bull ended, which it certainly did, I don't see the comeback for this one. So could this be a marketing ploy to get some Secret sold? More than likely. Is it going to give visibility? More than likely. Is it going to help shore up a little bit and mint more USK? Absolutely. But what's going to happen to it on January 31st? Everyone's going to dump. But I'm okay with that. I don't want anyone to, just go up there and bury him. I'm okay with that because there's no lock-in period on Kajira. I'm not down there with the oars. I'm not down there making the boat go. I'm not down there taking all the risk and having no exit whatsoever. I have an exit. My exit is unbond, remove my liquidity, unbond, sell it, and bye-bye. That's my out. And I can do that at any time. I can do that on 2 dexes. I can do that on both Kajira. I can do that on both Kajira and Crescent. Don't like it, sell it, out. It's been great. Thank you very much, and good luck with your future. But I will get back to what we were talking about with Emery on that one, because I understand it is important for the stability of the decks. And that might have been important when there was only 1 or only 2. But there aren't anymore. This also paired into perfectly with a conversation that we also had where I said there are too damn many of them. I do like competition. I think competition drives innovation. But we got to the point where there were entirely too many. So at that, it's just completely diluted market cap. So these dexes were literally going to be forced to lock in liquidity because everybody was just butterflying from dex to dex to dex. That's the nature of it. We didn't create the game. We just play the game by the rules. So again, I think all of this is a good thing. I think all of this coming together is a very good thing. I've been a fan of Kajira. I'm kind of indifferent to the token price. Well, not indifferent. Again, I don't like to lose money. I don't think anybody does. I'm not as concerned with the token price as I am with what they're building and being able to hit the who, what, when, where, why, and how. It's starting to form a real good picture for me. So I'm getting more and more comfortable, particularly with the token price of Kajira at where it is at right now. But I'm not going to get off on the fact that I don't like the USK. I'm not sold on that. I don't see myself being sold on that. But it's necessary for the tokenomics of Kajira, the way that they're the way that they're written. And yeah. All right, Belle, questions?
All right. So Makokata Streamwalker actually asked a geek-related one, and I'm going to have to actually take a bit of time before coming up with an answer for this one.
Okay.
So, Bella, which Star Trek characters would you say you two most closely resemble?
Resemble? As in look like?
Yeah. Well, no, I think attitude-wise, but
Oh,
wow.
I want to say I'm closer to an old school Scotty. I fix things. That's what I do. I fix things. And when the worst is happening, I'm the guy there with the tools in my hand going to work and grinding on it. That's kind of what I do. So now I'd be one of the yellow shirts down there getting sucked out of the hole when they Klingons blow a hole in it. I'd be the guy flying away going, "Ah, call my wife." I'd be I'd be down there. I'm not a bridge type of person. I don't think I'd be up there at all, Belle. What about you, Belle? Where do you see yourself? You're on the bridge, aren't you?
No, God, no.
Well, you can't be a red shirt.
No, I can't be a red shirt either. That's the problem.
Well, you're 110 pounds. All right, you're not stopping shit. I'm sorry. It is what it is, Belle. Physics are a reality. And yeah, you're not stopping shit. So, okay, you think about it and give us another question here.
All right, so Microman, if we expect Osmo, Ethereum, and Bitcoin to rise again, aren't they solid places to be?
Sure. And let me rephrase. If that's where you want to hang your hat, yes, they are solid places to be. Bitcoin will always be speculative in nature, and Ethereum is always going to be the gas. Ethereum has actual use case value as opposed to Bitcoin, so I would consider Ethereum the better investment over Bitcoin. That's me. And no, that's not me. I'm right on this. I am right in every single way that you could possibly start to take it apart. I'm 100% right on this. Yeah, they would be the places to be, but I will answer your question with a question. When's Bitcoin going to go up? When's Bitcoin going to go up? Because until Bitcoin goes up, Ethereum isn't. So when are all of these things going to happen? I don't wait, because by doing this in speculative products, I am giving myself over 100%, completely 100% over to market sentiment. And that is not investing, that's hoping. I'm not that kind of guy. I will not settle in and let other people decide the values of my wallets. I will decide the values of my wallets, looking for opportunities, surgical at this time, and going out and getting them. Now, if I can sit here and harvest one particular pool over there at 239% from a network that I know, this is not a brand new, just launched L1. This is secret network. All right. They have been around for a long time. They have got solid fundamentals. Again, they're ahead of themselves, but they have solid fundamentals on this, and they have very, very deep pockets. So I will answer that question, your question with a question. Which is the better investment right now? Holding on to Bitcoin and hoping it goes up, or grabbing a hold of some secret, pairing it up with some USK and collecting 239% on it? Which one do you think is going to be more successful over the next 30 days? Because that's all we have on this one. January 31st, cut off, it's gone. Which one of these is going to earn you more over the next 30 days? I will argue that it would be the secret USK pool. I will be putting money into that pool. I'm not telling you to. In fact, I'd recommend you don't. Don't buy secret. All right, there's nothing new. Secret's value is who is building on them. So I will ask you, who is building on them? Because it's nothing that I can really think of. Maybe a new Dex, maybe a new something or other, but nobody's really standing up products on there. The last closest one that was going to be doing it that could have really, really moved the needle for them was Jackal, and Jackal went L1. So, yeah, that's kind of cut and dry. So from an investment standpoint, it's not something that I would buy unless I was heavily incentivized to do so. 239% is heavy incentivization to me. So over the next 30 days, I will be more profitable in that than I would in Bitcoin. And I get the caveat on top of this, because if Bitcoin does make a good move, 5, 6, 7%, if it goes up 10%, Secret's going to go up 15. Secret's going to go up 20 in the same period of time, because alts we always exceed it. If Bitcoin goes up 6, we go up 12. If Bitcoin goes down 5, we go down 10. It is what it is. So as Bitcoin is making that move, Secret's going to make a better move, and I'm still collecting a higher APR on a token that's now increasing in price. I don't plan on staying in there a long time. Absolutely not. I will be in and I will be out. They created the game, and I'm just going to play it. So with that, yes, I believe that I will be more profitable over the next 30 days in that investment than I would in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I cannot get the same kind of return, meaning I'm only getting about 30% over on Osmo. Now, that's not selling them out, because it's not like they just are going after that, because, oh, look at here, wrapped Ethereum paired with Axelar. Wrapped Ethereum paired with Axelar USDC at 38.25%. Guys, that is a gift. That is a gift, because you are pairing Ethereum with USDC. You're pairing Ethereum with USDC at 38%. Binance and USK, which I don't really care about. But wrap Binance and Axelar USDC at 60%. I'm interested. I am very, very interested. Guys, I like to pair with stable tokens. Everything over here is paired with a stable token. It's necessary to pair with stable tokens. It brings stability to the pool. It brings stability to your investment. It brings everything to it. And every damn pool over here is paired with USDC or USK. They get it. That's why I've been liking Kajira. How long have I been out here saying that my biggest holdings are always paired with always paired with the stable when possible? I'm not the only one who knows this. Apparently, Kajira knows this. Crescent has also been given some very, very nice pairings with USDC. They don't have their own stable token. They don't have a USK or a USC. Let's call it US Crescent. Don't, guys, by the way, don't do that. Jesus, we have enough of these. But I'm sorry. Man, there's a reason that I've been talking about Kajira, and I'm still a fan. They get it. You want to pair with stables. You want to, as an investor. I don't care what it does with the DEX. They need to do it over there on Kajira. Why? Why do they need to pair all these damn things with all these stable tokens? Why? Because they're all available on the order book, which is also the minimum requirement for a successful DEX over on the Cosmos. You're going to have an order book. And you got to have no lock-ins. You start hitting those are two huge, huge wickets as far as investors go. Big fan. Love it. That's where my money's going to be moving into, because I am greedy, and I have to get exceptionally greedy right now. The market is bad. The market is flat. The current APRs are not keeping up with the inflation and the devaluation of the tokens. I have got to stop the bleeding. Only way I could stop the bleeding right now is go leverage trade, which I don't want to do. I can short which I really don't want to do because that takes too much time out of my life, or I can go after higher APRs on other competing dexes. For me, it pops out of a slot. Now, telling you that I am. Hope that answered the question. Bell, please carry on.
Geez.
Everybody did realize that these are all stable pairings over there on Kajira, right? And does that start making you ask the why? I sure hope it does. I'm sorry, Bell. Carry on, please.
Cheese farmer. Hey, Scott, any opinions on arable?
No, I haven't really looked into it. I'm sorry, babe. Like, I'm sure it's a great investment. I hate it when people ask and I don't know. I really hate it because it makes me seem like I'm poo-pooing on it. I have no opinion on it, sir. I haven't looked into it, but I will. Bell writes them all down for me. Carry on, Bell.
Dan, I don't have my bags packed yet, but I know I can mention this one without fearing it pumping. Have you heard of ALBT Alliance Block?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No, I haven't. Bell, have you heard of it? You always look at me.
I have not heard of that one.
No, but do write it down because color me intrigued. I like it when people get on that and start talking bags. Carry on, Bell. Might be something fun.
Makokata Streamwalker, the incentive spreadsheet in recent gov proposal on osmosis seems to show support for gravity like USDC.grav. Am I reading this right?
Yeah, you are. And it's pretty clear if you go looking at the pools and the breakdowns, you're going to see it. I'm not saying that they're leaning over that way, but they are for the couple of the ones that I'm in, like Osmo, USDC, Gravity Bridge, and on that, those pools are more heavily incentivized, and they are getting part of it from Osmo, part of it from Gravity Bridge. They're trying. They're struggling to stay relevant, man. These bridges are hurting. They are all hurting. So they're going to do what they can to sell their token. Carry on, Bell.
That was actually the last question for the moment.
You guys got all of this? I thought I was hitting on all cylinders tonight. I was like, oh, people are gonna be having a go at me. What the hell do I know? I don't know. What do I know about any of this stuff? I've been spending so much more time over here on Kajira, and I'm not telling you to do it because there's just some pairings over here that I absolutely love. Look at that. Atom. You guys familiar with Atom? Do you know Atom? That's the Cosmos ecosystem token. Paired up with Axelar USDC at 60%. That's double what I'm getting for it anywhere else. They even are surpassing Crescent. They're even surpassing Crescent, and I am shocked and appalled that the LPs are so low on this one. I don't understand how this thing is staying so much under the radar. It's just people have been burned by these dexes so much over and over and over. They have just been burned and crushed by dexes. So it's real hard for people to start limbering up their wallets again. They're going to stick with what they know. I didn't make my money by sticking with what I know. I made my money by taking a shot, by going for it, by looking, hoping I can see something other people are not seeing, getting in there and being in there early. That's how I made my, that's how I was able to be successful in crypto, and that's how I'm going to continue to go at it. I've gotten burned on a couple of these. I know everybody has, but it's no reason to stop trying. Just because you take one high and inside and put you down in the dirt doesn't mean you don't get back up and get back in the box. And if you just fall asleep on this and you just wait for the mystical bull that's going to come running in and that's going to save all of you, man, you are going to bleed to death. That's what my math is telling me, and I'm sorry, man, I got to stick with it. But there are some excellent pairings over here, and I understand the who, what, when, where, why, and how. Axelar USDC, 46%. I'd love to pair it up with the USK, man. I can't do it. Just can't do it. I know nothing about this one. Fury USK, I haven't even looked into it. Don't know, don't care, have no interest in it. But there are just some really, really good pools over here. And what I'm saying is I think it might be worth your time to take a look at some of these and see if you find some interest in them. Not telling you to buy them. Just want to see if you find them as interesting as I do. These frighten me a little bit. These lower TVLs frighten me a little bit. I want to make sure that that's out there. I don't like to be the big holder of a liquidity pool. And I've done this several times. I don't like to be the big wallet in a liquidity pool because it emotionally locks me in because I don't want to wreck people. And when I pull out of something like that, if I'm holding half the total liquidity in a liquidity pool and I pull out, it starts a chain reaction. And it's going to ruin people who got in after me, and it's absolutely going to ruin the pool. So it like uh, emotionally attaches me to it. I don't like to be in that position. I don't want to wreck people. So it limits how much money I can actually put into these things. But I did want to get that one. I did want to get that out there. I think it's in your interest to take a look at some of this stuff, man. If you want to spend some time on Twitter and see what the Twitterverse is saying about Kajira, it's absolutely nothing positive. You'll never find anything. This is a very, very tribal dex. People either love it or they loathe it. There does not seem to be any middle ground on this one. People either love it or they hate it, and that's it. I'm on one side of the fence. I'm sure you can imagine which one, but I'm sorry, man. I love I love the tokens that I get out of these things. I think it's great. I like the way that they're doing business. I think it's very, very good for me personally. Anybody else, I wouldn't advise touching this. TVLs are too low. There's still some questions that are unanswered. I'm willing to take the risk. I don't believe anybody else should. Take that, YouTube. All right, right there. Take that for the YouTube people. I'm literally telling you, don't do it. All right, and I'm on record. It's time, date stamped, and it's live. All right, Belle, you got anything here? I need something. Tell a story because I got to finish my booze.
Strikeout. All right, so strikeout. We agree with you for the most part. Nothing to argue about. And then Moveclopedia. Scott, USK is not algorithmic stablecoin.
No, I understand it's an over collateralized stablecoin, but it's an over collateralized stablecoin. I'm sorry, let me pull it back up. It's an over collateralized stablecoin that's currently sitting at $1.05. I'm happy to go over the math with you, babe. I am more than happy to go after every bit of this with you because I understand because the big pairing on that makes up USK is Atom. So I'm more than happy to go over any of this stuff with you. But I'm going to be looking at it from a simple, pragmatic standpoint and ask, why is your stablecoin not worth a buck? It is literally in the name. It is literally in the name. So if you want to math me on this one, go for it. But I'm going to fall back to that little number right there. So, yes, I get it. I'm just not a fan of it. All right? Get some backing. Put some more money in there. The bigger the volume of USK, the closer that thing's going to get to a peg. But I don't want to try this little experiment with my very own money. I don't. I'm more than happy to let others take that risk, and I'll be the late guy arriving on this stuff when it's actually closer to a buck. So I hope that answers the question. Nothing against it. I know why they're doing it, and I understand it. It's just early for me, man. It's just a little bit early. UST, man, it's way too fresh. Belle, carry on.
Dan chiming in with the comment, I like me some saucer swap.
Saucer swap.
Yeah.
Should I know this one?
I, I don't know it, so I don't think you would.
No, well, I don't know. I like to get around, but I'm in the dexes that I'm in. I'm in enough of them. So I kind of leave her. I'm not really going out of my way looking for a lot of new ones. I think my the only one that I'm in that's still somewhat heavy is over here on Thor, and I don't talk about it a lot because we're kind of a Cosmos channel, and it's a little bit more work getting involved with Thor because you're talking about you're going to start dipping your toes back into the Ethereum world. So I don't really talk about this one a whole lot, but that's right there. I consider that hands down one of the best pools that there is. If you can deal with a very, very, very small market gain, an APR of about 6%, it's solid. That's all I could say on that one is that it's solid. It's my single biggest holding over on Thor Chain is going to be my Bitcoin Rune, hands down. And I will peel off APRs from Cosmos and I will move it over to Thor just to get into that little pool right there. But it's a tough sell. It really is. But I do like Thor. I like what they have going on over here. There's some excellent pools. There's some really, really good opportunities, and they are achievable and reasonable APRs. It's just a tough sell. I mean, it's a tough sell for anybody coming from the cosmos. When I can come over here and show you Crescent, and look at when I come over here and show you Crescent, all of these B Creek, and this is the liquid Crescent, by the way, guys. But all of these, like their new, I guess, Comdex, obviously just spun up. It's got $1,600 in that pool at 186%. So for you Comdex lovers, here you go. There you go, man. You want to get this thing trading somewhere besides Osmo? It's gonna be here, and you're pairing up with Liquid Crescent, so it's a little bit riskier. Obviously, when you come over, anything that you're going to be doing over here, it's not quite as solid because look at you're not pairing with a stable over here. You're paying with a liquid native token. That's what you're. I'm sorry. That's what you're pairing with. So it's a little bit of a tougher sell over here. But for what it's worth, the TVL is a lot higher over here on Crescent than it is on Kajera. Who would have thought that one? It's not as impressive. They mix it up a lot more. There are not as many pools. There's not as many opportunities. But the TVL's a lot higher. They just got it out of the gate, and they just got more money to put into it. So they were able to hold it up. But their order book is excellent. If anybody else besides me is actually using it, their order book is excellent. Kajira's order book is excellent. I don't know what happened there. I think we fell in love, us DeFi, DGen folks just fell in love with AMMs, and we don't want to go back to actually paying what we think we should pay for products. We're just happy to get them right this second for regardless of the slippage. So, yeah, I mean, it's changed. This is DeFi 1.5. I'll just put it there. It's not DeFi 2.0 yet, not quite, but this is DeFi 1.5. And the longer that this goes on and the longer that these things are able to maintain, you're going to start to see these things looking a hell of a lot more like your bigger players, like your Coinbase, like your Geminis, like your Binance, like the surviving central dexes. You're going to start seeing them because they're offering similar products, meaning order books that are very, very easy for people to understand. There's one extra step that you have to do here that you can't do, or that you don't have to do over on your Coinbases. And over there, you're dealing simply with fiat dollars. You put your money in dollars and you can go to work. Over here, you have to make some trades and some swaps to get some USDC out here so that you can play around on these things. So there's a few extra steps for you to happen out here in the DeFi, but they're the same. These things are operating functionally the same. It's just a hell of a lot cheaper to make your trades here than it is for you to make your trades over on the AMMs. And why you would buy Atom anywhere but Crescent or Kajira, with considering that you basically set your price, makes no sense to me at all. I know that wasn't a question, but I did want to get the rest of that out. And I see that we're coming to the end of time here, Belle. I had a wonderful time, but we got it. Was it really an hour? Have I been talking nonstop for a goddamn hour?
You pretty much have, yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's frightening. It must be the tie. It's got to be the tie. If you got any questions, Belle, let's wrap them up.
All right. So regarding Saucer Swap, Dan chimed in and said it's in Hedera. So yeah, Dan, we'll go ahead and we'll check that out. Microman asking, do all stablecoins have to be tied to the dollar? A euro stablecoin wouldn't be worth a buck.
No, euro. Well, I mean, but it's also like the euro. I mean, it's tied to the euro. So, for the bulk of, how about this? For the United States, we like a pie tied to a dollar. We understand a dollar. Philosophically, fundamentally, we understand what a dollar is. It works out in our head. So for us, we're going to be using anything that's pegged to a dollar. But for the European people, obviously, you should use anything that's tied to the euro because that's where your default position is. I couldn't imagine this before, like the euro, if we were still dealing with individual European currencies. And Microman, why are you worried about the euro? Are you guys need to get your shit together and get back on the pound? Come on, man, let's do it. We don't need to be talking about euros anymore. Bell, carry on.
Strike, will Loop make it through this bear? I have my doubts.
I don't think so. They're it's neat. But what are they bringing that's truly revolutionary? Aside from exceptionally long lock in periods a la Hex, meaning if you agree to leave it here for 90 days, we'll give you a higher percentage. There's nothing really revolutionary that's going on over there. They are not doing any particular pairings that are really revolutionary. So are they going to survive? I think they maybe make a living. Are they ever going to really make a splash? I want to say no. Bell, carry on.
Makoka to Streamwalker, how about a stablecoin tied to a barrel of oil or a kilowatt of electricity or a gram of antimatter? That's for you, Bella.
Well, if it's antimatter, what does it matter? You like that? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's for the Rocky Horror Picture Show people. If you guys remember, anybody who's seen it, I'm an old guy, and clearly I like Rocky Horror. Sure, you can make it stable. How about this? You can create anything that you want, but now you have to get people to buy it. So if you want to believe in the the petrodollar, sure, make the coin, but you got to get people to invest in it. I understand where you're going with it, and it does make sense. But you got to admit, man, oil's not exactly stable. So if your token value, your token goes up and down based on oil, why not just buy oil? I'm just putting that out there. Go, Bell.
Move Clipedia, do you think that the soft DPEG in USK offers opportunity between USK and XLR USDC?
You know, right now, it would be a small one, but probably. I'm not sure it'd be worth. I'm not sure it'd be worth. You know what? With bots, anything's worth your time. So, is it arbitrageable? Well, yeah. Is this something that you would have focused on? I don't know if you're going to get rich on it, but you could probably make some nickels. Sure. And that's going to stick around again until they get closer to the peg, unless they're just going to call $5. This is what we meant it to be. That is the peg, and then you guys can explain it as it grows. Bell, carry on.
Moby Sage, would you pair an LP with wrapped Bitcoin because it's so stable?
Uh, Let me. I'm just kind of kicking that thing over, man. Anything that's paired up with Bitcoin is going to be in for a little bit of volatility. Yeah, boy, that's it's. I don't want to incentivize anyone to buy Bitcoin. I just don't. I don't consider it. I don't particularly consider it a very good investment, particularly not right now, even though it is stable. But Bitcoin is a shock and awe kind of speculative token, and it's not really waters that I'm comfortable swimming in. I understand the Bitcoin maxis, and it's the future and the world reserve currency, and it's going to be more of a yeah. I get all that, but I mean, what has it really shown you over the last 2 years? That it's anything but stable. So it's not really something that I want to play around in, even though I understand the necessity of it increasing in value to carry the entire crypto market as a whole. So if I say I don't like Bitcoin, I'm effectively shooting myself in the foot. But you gotta keep in mind, for me, I'm getting out of this stuff. Not that I'm getting completely out of speculative products, and I'm moving into actual use case products, period, up and down. That's where my APRs go to. That's where my money goes to. That's where my investments are going to. And these are products with uses that have multiple revenue streams, and Bitcoin doesn't have any of those. So, as much as I would like to see it go to 60, I don't want to be one of the people that is supporting that, because anything that goes up like that's going to come down like that, because there's nothing shoring it up but market sentiment. And I don't want to swim in those waters. I absolutely refuse. I need to have rhyme and reason to my investments. And buying something because everybody knows it's going to go up is absolutely untrue. There is no fact to that whatsoever. But if you say it enough, suddenly a lot of people believe it. So, no, I mean, it's just, you know, there's no good way to answer it. Yeah, buy Bitcoin. I think it's great. Bell, carry on.
Black Tornado chiming in with a couple questions. Are you staking anything or all DeFi, or are there circumstances when you recommend staking?
I stake Atom. But Atom is probably I mean, Osmo itself is probably one of my single largest tokens by percentage of my portfolio. It's about 18% of my total portfolio is Osmo. But the next token is Atom at about 15%. I use Atom more or less as a currency because Atom gets a lot of very, very interesting pumps. So I do have quite a bit of my Atom staked because it's stable enough for me. Stable. It's stable enough for me that I'm happy with returns, and I like getting paid in Atom. That's really all it comes down to is I like to be paid in Atom. Atom is my currency. So I use Atom depending on its fluctuations. When Atom goes up 6-7%, I can't explain it. All I see is that my currency, my purchasing power with Atom right now is 6 or 7% higher than it was the day before. So I always hold a lot of Atom, but I always hold it all liquid so that I can use it to buy other tokens. But it's a cryptocurrency. It's in the name. I use it as a currency. But that's the only one that I do stake because the staking percentage is not bad for a token for, let's be honest, the granddaddy. And the percentage is not bad for what I'm using it for. It works for me. But aside from Atom, there's really not a lot that I stake. Leave it right there. Hope that answered the question, Bell. Carry on.
Dan, speaking of use case, are you knowledgeable on the ISO coins? Not necessarily all of them, but a few.
Couple. And if we, you know what, write that down, Bell. We'll spend some time on this next stream. We're already over time right now, and I can go and go on these. I actually think it's pretty neat. Carry on, Bell.
All right, and Strika dropping in a comment. Bell needs to travel more. Let's go crypto go up so Bell can travel the world.
There you go, Bell. Go travel the world. Come on, carry it on. Get us out of here.
That was actually the last one for the night.
Oh, that is perfect. So obviously, guys, I don't know if you caught the feel of the show tonight. We're kind of going back to some of our older stuff. What I did when I did it worked. And what I'm doing when I'm doing what I'm going to do as I'm doing it now, it's going to work again. Not because I am so damn smart, but just because it seems like this is the way. So I'm going to be making some transitions. We're going to be spending a lot more time talking about a lot of these other dexes and particularly the products because the idea behind earning these APRs is not so that I can roll them back in. The idea behind earning these APRs is so that I can take those APRs and invest them in the use case tokens that I love so much. So it's important to me to accumulate as many of those as I can right now without taking any money out of my own wallet. I haven't put a dollar into crypto in years. So it's very, very important that all those things line up. It is bearish. I cannot say when it's going to break loose, but as it's bearish, I'm going to do everything I can to accumulate. This is one of the things that I'm going to be doing. So if I can take advantage of something like Secret and USK, if I could take advantage of that for 30 days, I'm absolutely going to do it. Not telling you to, telling you that I am. And yeah, we'll be showing it in the videos. So we're going to be going a little bit more old school as far as the show goes, because I like to think that you guys at least got some value out of it when we were doing it. That's probably why you're sticking around, even though we've gotten so much more philosophical lately. Anyway, that's it. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. This is what's going to be coming at you for the next month or so. So with that, Belle, talk us up, talk us out.
All right, again, ladies and gentlemen, we cannot thank you guys enough for joining us tonight. If you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to send Scott and I emails, Scott at ThePodcast.com and Bella at ThePodcast.com. We do answer each and every one of those. Again, we could not do this without you guys, so keep those comments and questions coming. With that being said, we will be back on Saturday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will see you next time.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.